My daughter's preschool teacher and my best friend of 10 years tried to prove I was an unfit mother by secretly recording my baby and turned all my friends against me. I, 28F, never thought I'd be sharing this story, but I'm still shaking as I type this. What happened today has left me questioning a friendship of over 10 years and wondering how well I really knew someone I considered one of my closest friends. I have a 9-month-old daughter, Luna, who started attending Happy Hearts preschool 2 months ago. My friend Melissa, 30F, works there as a lead teacher in the infant room. We met during our freshman year of college when we were roommates, and we've been inseparable ever since. She was even my maid of honor at my wedding 3 years ago. Some background about Melissa: she's always been passionate about early childhood education. While I went into marketing after college, she pursued her degree in early childhood development and has worked with kids for the past 8 years. She's single, no kids of her own, but has always been the go-to person in our friend group for parenting advice. When I got pregnant, she was over the moon excited and immediately offered to be Luna's godmother. I'm a first-time mom working as a marketing manager at a tech company, and my husband Tom, 31M, is a software developer. We both have demanding jobs but make Luna our priority. When we were looking for childcare options, Melissa suggested Happy Hearts where she works. We toured several places but ultimately chose Happy Hearts because of their excellent reputation and, if I'm honest, having Melissa there made me feel more secure about leading Luna. During my pregnancy, Melissa was incredibly supportive. She helped plan my baby shower, attended every ultrasound appointment I'd let her come to, and even took a week off work after Luna was born to help us adjust. Looking back, maybe I should have noticed how invested she was becoming in my pregnancy and Luna's life. Everything seemed fine for the first 2 months at Happy Hearts. Luna adjusted well, and the daily updates we received about her activities and development were detailed and reassuring. Melissa would often send me photos of Luna during the day, which I appreciated, though she sometimes made comments about how I dressed Luna or what I packed for her meals. Yesterday changed everything? I decided to pick up Luna during my lunch break to spend some extra time with her and maybe take her to the park near the preschool. When I arrived, I found Melissa holding Luna in the nursery room. As soon as Luna saw me, she reached out, clearly wanting me to hold her. This is where things took a bizarre turn. When I went to take Luna, Melissa actually stepped back, tightening her grip on my daughter. Her whole demeanor changed as she started lecturing me about proper holding techniques and how I was compromising Luna's spinal development with my incorrect holding methods. I was completely blindsided. She claimed she'd been watching how I hold Luna during drop-offs and pickups and had documented multiple instances of concerning handling. She said things like Luna's neck isn't properly supported when you carry her and your hip holding technique could cause hip dysplasia. I tried explaining that our pediatrician had never expressed any concerns about how I hold Luna, but Melissa dismissed this, saying doctors don't see the day-to-day handling. The situation escalated when I firmly asked her to hand over my daughter. Melissa refused, saying she needed to demonstrate proper techniques before she could in good conscience let me take Luna. By this point, Luna was getting distressed and crying, reaching for me desperately, but Melissa kept repositioning her, trying to show me various holds while my daughter became increasingly upset. Another teacher, Angela, 25F, came over, clearly sensing the tension. She seemed uncomfortable but didn't directly intervene. I had to raise my voice and threaten to call the preschool director before Melissa finally, reluctantly, handed Luna back, all while telling me I was being too emotional and needed to think about what's best for Luna. Luna was hysterical by then, and I was shaking with anger and disbelief. As I was leaving, Melissa called out that she was just trying to help and that I needed to put my ego aside for Luna's sake. She even suggested I should sign up for her upcoming parent education workshop to improve my parenting skills. I immediately called Tom from the car and told him everything. He was furious and wanted to report Melissa to the director right away. I also called my sister Kate, 32F, who has 3 kids of her own. She was horrified and said Melissa's behavior was not only unprofessional but potentially dangerous. Looking back, there were warning signs I ignored. Melissa had become increasingly critical of my parenting choices over the past few months. She questioned everything from Luna's sleep schedule to her solid food introduction timeline. Last week, she even suggested Luna's occasional fussiness during drop-off was a sign of attachment issues that needed professional intervention. Now I'm torn about what to do. I've known Melissa for so long, and she was always supportive before this incident. We've shared so many important moments. She was there when I got engaged, when I had my first miscarriage, and when Luna was born. Part of me wonders if she's going through something personal that's affecting her judgment, but another part feels this crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Tom thinks we should file a formal complaint and look for another preschool immediately. He's worried Melissa might try something like this again or start spreading concerns about our parenting to other staff members. The thought of her discussing us with her colleagues makes me sick to my stomach. I feel torn between protecting my daughter and potentially ruining someone's career. If I report this, Melissa could lose her job. But if I don't, what message am I sending about how people can treat me and my child? So, Reddit, what should I do? Should I report Melissa and start looking for a new preschool right away? Or should I try to have a serious conversation with her first and give her a chance to understand how inappropriate her behavior was? Update 1. First, I want to thank everyone who commented on my original post. Your support and advice helped me navigate what happened next, because the situation has escalated in ways I never expected. The day after posting, I scheduled a meeting with Happy Hearts director, Sarah, 45F, to discuss the incident. But before I could meet her, Melissa took things to an entirely different level. She posted a lengthy rant on Facebook about modern parents who refuse professional guidance and how some mothers care more about their ego than their children's well-being. While she didn't name me directly, the details made it obvious who she was talking about. She described a close friend with a 9-month-old daughter and went into detail about how she had to intervene during a pickup because of dangerous holding techniques. What really shocked me was that she included several photos from our previous playdates showing her holding Luna. She wrote captions like, "Notice how content she is when held correctly, and this is what proper support looks like." These photos were taken at my house during private visits, and she never asked permission to share them publicly. The post gained attention in our local parenting groups. Several other childcare workers commented, praising her for putting children's safety first and sharing their own stories about difficult parents. Others, mainly parents, were horrified by her unprofessional behavior. The comment section turned into a heated debate about parental rights versus childcare provider expertise. Things got worse when Melissa started messaging our mutual friends from college. She told them she had been documenting my concerning behavior for months and was worried about Luna's development. She claimed I was neglectful and too proud to accept help. She even suggested that my long work hours were causing attachment issues in Luna. 3 of our college friends called me, genuinely worried about Luna's well-being based on what Melissa had told them. One friend, Rachel, 29F, admitted that Melissa had been sending her evidence, detailed notes about my drop-offs and pickups, including times I was allegedly rough with Luna or ignored her cries. When I finally met with Sarah, she was already aware of the social media situation. Other parents had brought the Facebook post to her attention. During our meeting, she revealed something disturbing. 2 other parents had previously complained about Melissa being overly controlling with their children. While these incidents weren't as serious as refusing to return a child, they showed a pattern of boundary crossing. Sarah then shared something that made my blood run cold. She discovered that Melissa had been keeping unofficial observation notes about several parents, including me, without the preschool's knowledge or consent. These weren't standard developmental records, they were detailed accounts of what she perceived as parenting failures, complete with dates, times, and her own psychological assessments. Sarah immediately placed Melissa on administrative leave pending a full investigation. She apologized profusely for the incident and assured me they take such violations of trust very seriously. She offered to move Luna to a different classroom and implemented a new policy requiring 2 teachers to be present during all parent interactions. Melissa didn't take the suspension well at all. Last night, she showed up at my house around 8 p.m., crying and demanding to talk. Through the door, she kept saying I was destroying her career over a misunderstanding and that everything she did was out of love for Luna. She insisted she had a professional obligation to intervene when she saw harmful parenting practices. When I refused to let her in, she sat in her car outside our house for 2 hours, calling and texting repeatedly. Her messages ranged from angry accusations to tearful apologies. She even texted that she had proof of my parenting issues, and would be forced to share it with the proper authorities if I didn't drop the complaint. Tom finally had to threaten to call the police before she left. He recorded everything on his phone, and we're now considering getting a restraining order. We've also decided to pull Luna out of Happy Hearts immediately. My sister Kate offered to watch her until we find a new preschool. The hardest part has been seeing how many people in our social circle are defending Melissa's actions. Several mutual friends have suggested I'm overreacting and that Melissa was just being protective. They keep saying things like she has years of experience and she only wants what's best for Luna. But I keep thinking, if she felt comfortable enough to refuse giving me my child back and then publicly shame my parenting, what else might she do when I'm not there? The thought keeps me up at night. I've blocked Melissa on everything, but she's still finding ways to contact me through mutual friends. She's now telling people she has evidence of my parenting issues that she'll be forced to share if I don't drop the complaint against her. I'm not sure if she's bluffing or if she really has been documenting things that could be twisted to make me look bad. Update 2. The situation has developed significantly since my last update. Happy Hearts completed their investigation, and what they uncovered was far more disturbing than anyone expected. During their internal review, several current and former staff members came forward with information about Melissa's concerning behavior patterns. The director discovered that Melissa had been maintaining extensive records on multiple families, far beyond normal developmental documentation. She had created detailed files containing personal information shared during casual conversations, notes about parents' work schedules, family dynamics, and even financial situations. More alarmingly, they found folders on her work computer filled with photos of different children, taken without parental consent. When questioned, she claimed these were for documenting concerning behaviors and potential signs of neglect. She had even created spreadsheets tracking parents' drop-off times, what children wore, and what they brought for lunch, adding her own commentary about parental negligence. 2 former teachers came forward with disturbing accounts. They revealed that Melissa often bragged about correcting parents' mistakes and saving these children from their parents' ignorance. She had successfully convinced several parents to change pediatricians, feeding schedules, and sleep routines based on her recommendations, claiming their current practices were harmful. Angela, the teacher who witnessed my incident, finally opened up about what she'd seen. She admitted that Melissa had been pressuring staff to report minor issues to Child Protective Services to create a paper trail on parents she deemed problematic. She had attempted this with 3 families before, though fortunately none of the reports were found credible. Happy Hearts terminated Melissa's employment immediately after these discoveries. They reported her actions to the state licensing board and are implementing new policies about documentation and parent interactions. Sarah, the director, personally called every family Melissa had files on to inform them of the situation. After news of her termination spread, 5 other parents came forward with similar stories. One mom shared how Melissa had insisted on correcting her 2-year-old son's walking technique, physically manipulating his legs despite his crying. Another parent revealed that Melissa had diagnosed her daughter with sensory processing issues and pressured her into expensive private therapy, only to learn later from professional evaluation that her daughter was developing normally. My sister Kate did some investigating through her contacts in early childhood education. She discovered that Melissa had been asked to leave 2 previous childcare centers for similar boundary issues. She had always explained these departures to us as philosophical differences with management. She managed to hide this pattern by using personal references instead of professional ones when applying to Happy Hearts. The revelations have completely divided our friend group. Some have cut all contact with Melissa, especially after learning about the unauthorized photos and documentation. Others insist she needs support rather than criticism, suggesting she might have some kind of mental health issue causing this behavior. Yesterday, one friend even suggested I was partially responsible for Melissa's actions because I encouraged her attachment to Luna by making her the godmother and involving her so much in my pregnancy. The same friend implied that my long work hours might have made Melissa feel she needed to step in as a more present maternal figure. Tom and I have officially filed for a restraining order after Melissa started sending letters to both our house and our workplaces. The letters alternate between desperate apologies and veiled threats about exposing the truth about our parenting. In one letter, she included printed screenshots of her documentation about us, with dates and times she claims I was rough with Luna or ignored her needs. Luna has settled well at her new preschool, though handling the transition has been challenging. The new staff are wonderfully professional and understand our need for clear boundaries after what happened. They've been transparent about their documentation policies and always include us in discussions about Luna's care. Update 3. I wanted to share a final update because the situation has reached a conclusion, though not in a way anyone expected. The court granted our temporary restraining order against Melissa, but what happened during the hearing for a permanent order left everyone stunned. During the court proceedings, Melissa's lawyer presented evidence that completely changed our understanding of the situation. They revealed that Melissa had been secretly recording her interactions with children at the preschool, including Luna, using a hidden camera disguised as approach. She claimed she needed evidence of parental misconduct to protect the children. This immediately backfired as recording children without consent is illegal in our state. The state licensing board launched an immediate investigation after learning about the recordings. They discovered this wasn't her first time engaging in such behavior. At her previous jobs, she had maintained similar surveillance and documentation, which led to her quiet dismissals. She had successfully hidden this pattern by moving between different school districts and using personal references instead of professional ones. What truly shocked everyone was Melissa's testimony in court. She spoke with complete conviction about her actions, showing no remorse. She explained how she couldn't stand by watching parents damage their children through improper care. When the judge questioned her about recording children without consent, she defended herself by saying she was building cases to save them. She even presented her detailed logs as evidence of her dedication to child welfare. The court granted us a permanent restraining order. Melissa can't come within 500 feet of us or contact us in any way, directly or through others. Additionally, she's been banned from working in childcare in our state pending a full investigation of her past employment. The licensing board is also working with authorities in neighboring states where she previously worked to review any incidents there. Our friend group has completely fractured in the aftermath. Those who initially defended her have apologized after learning about the secret recordings. Several admitted they'd been manipulated by her carefully crafted stories about my parenting. 2 other families from Happy Hearts have also filed for restraining orders after discovering their children were recorded. Luna is thriving at her new preschool. The staff there maintain professional boundaries and document everything through official channels. They always include parents in discussions about their children's development and respect our decisions about Luna's care. The hardest part has been accepting that someone I trusted for so long could betray that trust so completely. Looking back, there were warning signs I missed: her increasing possessiveness of Luna, her constant criticism of other parents, her need to document everything. But I never imagined it would go this far. I'm glad I trusted my instincts that day when she refused to give Luna back. The experience has taught me that sometimes the hardest part isn't recognizing when someone crosses a line, but accepting that the person you thought you knew never really existed.